From the very first moment Karlie Red and young Jock stepped onto our screens, fans knew their story wasn't just another love and hip-hop subplot. It was a ticking time bomb wrapped in secrets, half-truths, and whispered betrayals. But what if the drama we thought we knew was only the surface? What if beneath that surface lies a hidden history so chaotic, so messy, so undeniably scandalous that even longtime viewers would be forced to question everything they believed about this turbulent pair? Tonight, we're diving into a story that has Atlanta buzzing, fans tweeting in disbelief, and insiders admitting that even they didn't see this coming. Because for years, Kendra, poised, polished, endlessly loyal Kendra, believed she married a man whose chapter with Karlie Red was firmly closed. A chapter she thought she had read, understood, and safely filed away in the past. But what if that chapter wasn't closed at all? What if it wasn't even fully written? Imagine this. A quiet night in Atlanta, the kind where the streets hum with energy but the Frost Bistro is calm, nearly empty, and then a single message, a single leaked screenshot, a single late-night DM begins circulating online. A photo, a timestamp, a location tag, and suddenly fans are frozen mid-scroll, squinting, zooming in, asking the same question over and over. Wait, is that Karlie and Jock together? Recently, within minutes, timelines erupt. Blogs scramble, comment sections ignite like gasoline meeting fire. And all at once, the narrative around Karlie Red and young Jock, a decade-long carousel of arguments, makeups, breakups, and confessions, shifts into something deeper. Something darker. Something that suggests the past might not be the past at all, and that Kendra may have been living in the shadow of secrets she never even knew existed. Because according to a source who claims they were there, Karlie and Jock shared one final, closure conversation, years after the cameras stopped rolling. A conversation that wasn't filmed. A conversation that wasn't scripted. A conversation that, if true, would flip the entire storyline upside down and force everyone, including Kendra, to reevaluate who they can trust. And as the whispers grow louder, as the alleged evidence spreads faster, and as fans demand answers, one chilling question rises above the rest. Has Kendra been left in the dark this entire time? Did Jock and Karlie bury a bombshell secret that is only now clawing its way to the surface? Or worse, has the truth been hiding in plain sight, ignored, dismissed, and brushed off as old drama, while something much bigger brewed underneath? Tonight, we unravel the rumors, the late-night messages, the shady coincidences, the reunions that weren't supposed to happen, the emotions that never fully faded, and the one moment insiders say changed everything, that could expose a truth even Karlie and Jock never wanted to face. Fans are shocked, Kendra is silent, and the streets of Atlanta? They're talking. Stay tuned, because this story is only getting started. The first shockwave hit on a Tuesday evening, when an anonymous tipster reached out to a popular Atlanta entertainment blog. According to the tip, Karlie Red and young Jock had been spotted together multiple times over the past year, often in locations suspiciously close to Jock's residence. The source insisted that the encounters weren't casual, and some even implied that Karlie had been advising Jock on personal matters that Kendra had no idea about. People think we're just friends, Karlie allegedly whispered to the insider, her tone calm but her eyes flashing mischief. They have no idea how deep this goes. The revelation instantly sent shockwaves through the fanbase. Social media exploded with speculation. Hashtags like #KarlieJockSecret and #Kendra deserves answers trended worldwide. Fans began digging through old photos, cross-referencing locations, piecing together what seemed like a decades-old mystery. Meanwhile, Kendra, blissfully unaware of the brewing storm, posted a heartfelt family photo on Instagram. Family first, always, she wrote, tagging Jock and their children. But behind the polished smiles, the tension was already building, tension that only insiders could sense. Inside sources close to Jock revealed that the rapper had been juggling dual loyalties. He thought he could keep Karlie in his past, but she's not someone who just walks away, said one insider, who spoke on the condition of anonymity. There were late-night calls, secret messages, and even trips that Kendra didn't know about. It's emotional manipulation at its finest. Things came to a boiling point at a private dinner party hosted by a mutual friend. According to eyewitnesses, Karlie arrived unannounced, carrying a confident air that immediately unsettled Kendra. Jock tried to mediate, but emotions ran high. Karlie, why are you here? Kendra reportedly asked, her voice trembling but firm. I'm here because some people need to know the truth, Karlie replied, her tone sharp yet composed. Not everything from the past stays in the past, Kendra. Guests say the room went silent. The family was left divided, and whispers of betrayal circulated immediately. Karlie's sudden appearance was more than just a coincidence, it was a calculated move, designed to make Kendra question the man she married and the life she thought she knew. From that moment onward, a series of unexpected twists began to unravel. Leaked messages surfaced, showing Karlie and Jock exchanging intimate, personal conversations well after his marriage to Kendra. Some messages suggested old wounds weren't fully healed, while others hinted at unresolved romantic tension. Each revelation sent fans into frenzy, dissecting every word, every emoji, every late-night timestamp. Adding fuel to the fire, a close friend of Karlie claimed, "She's not just stirring drama for fun. She truly believes Jock should have been honest about certain things years ago." And now, Kendra might finally learn what's been hiding in plain sight. Family dynamics began to fracture as the story spread. Jock's relatives reportedly had mixed reactions, some defensive, some enraged, and others completely shocked. Meanwhile, Kendra was left to navigate a labyrinth of emotions: anger, confusion, betrayal, and heartbreak. As the weeks passed, Karlie's presence seemed to escalate the tension rather than resolve it. Fans watched in disbelief as confrontations played out in private messages, snippets of which found their way online. Arguments were heated, accusations flew, and both Karlie and Jock appeared to take no responsibility for the emotional chaos unfolding. At one particularly dramatic exchange, Jock allegedly exclaimed, "You don't get to rewrite history," while Karlie shot back, "History is alive, Jock. It never really ends." The words seemed to reverberate beyond the walls of that private confrontation. They reached fans, family members, and even the local media, all of whom were now waiting for the next explosive revelation. As weeks turned into months, the saga of Karlie, Jock, and Kendra became the talk of Atlanta, and the gossip columns weren't even scratching the surface. Rumors began to swirl that Karlie had been more than just a friend to Jock during his early days with Kendra, that their connection had never fully disappeared, and that she had subtly influenced decisions behind the scenes. One insider revealed that Kendra had started noticing small inconsistencies in Jock's behavior long before any leaks emerged. He was texting late at night, disappearing for hours without explanation, and sometimes his mood would shift the moment Karlie's name came up, the source claimed. At first, she brushed it off, thinking it was nothing, but deep down, she knew something wasn't right. Then came the bombshell. An anonymous post on a private forum alleged that Karlie and Jock had been secretly collaborating on business ventures Kendra knew nothing about. These weren't just casual investments. Insiders claimed they were high-stakes deals involving celebrities, luxury properties, and contracts that could generate millions. Fans speculated that while Kendra focused on family life, Karlie had been quietly weaving a web of influence around Jock's professional world. At a brunch with friends in Buckhead, Kendra finally confronted Jock. "I feel like I've been living with a ghost," she said, her voice barely containing the mix of hurt and rage. "It's like you've been married to Karlie in spirit all these years." Jock's response was evasive, a mixture of defensiveness and frustration. "It's not like that," he insisted. "You're blowing this out of proportion," but the words did little to calm the storm. Emotions ran high, and the table was tense as friends exchanged worried glances. Even the servers reportedly felt the tension in the air, noting that the usually lively brunch ended with awkward silence. Meanwhile, Karlie wasn't staying in the shadows. Social media posts that seemed harmless at first began to hint at past entanglements, late-night meetups, and cryptic comments that fans immediately interpreted as digs at Kendra. "Some people think Karlie is just playing games, but she's strategic," said another insider. "Every post, every story, every subtle reference is designed to remind Jock, and everyone else, that she's still relevant, still a player in his life." As evidence piled up, Kendra reportedly hired a private investigator. The investigator uncovered texts, emails, and even travel receipts suggesting that Karlie and Jock had met in secret multiple times. Some meetings were explained as business-related, but the timing, often during anniversaries, family events, or personal milestones, only fueled suspicions. Then came the confrontation that would become legendary among fans. At a charity gala, Kendra cornered Karlie in front of dozens of onlookers. "Why haven't you told me the truth?" she demanded, her voice shaking with a mixture of fury and disbelief. Karlie's response was calm, almost eerily so. "The truth? You've been blind, Kendra. Some things you weren't ready to see," the crowd gasped. Cameras flashed. Friends and family watched helplessly as decades of secrets seemed to collide in a single, explosive moment. Some guests reported hearing Jock mutter under his breath, "I didn't want it to get like this," but his words did little to stem the tide of drama. From there, the revelations only multiplied. Allegedly, Karlie had been leaving cryptic voicemails for Jock for years, subtle nudges that fans now interpreted as emotional manipulation. Some insiders suggested that Jock's hesitation to fully commit to family life in the past might have been tied to these lingering attachments, creating a chain reaction that left Kendra completely in the dark. The fan community erupted. Social media comments ranged from shock and outrage to sympathy for Kendra, with hashtags like #KendraDeservesTheTruth trending daily. The storyline had all the elements of a reality TV climax: secret messages, betrayals, public confrontations, and a love triangle that refused to die. And just when it seemed the drama couldn't escalate further, a shocking twist appeared. A former friend of Karlie's claimed she had documented years of interactions with Jock, including screenshots, voice notes, and even hotel records. "If Kendra sees this, there's no going back," the friend said ominously. Everything she thought she knew, it's only half the story. As the evidence began to surface, the emotional toll on Kendra became impossible to ignore. Friends reported that she spent nights scrolling through messages, comparing dates, piecing together moments that Jock had casually dismissed as past drama. Each revelation cut deeper, leaving her questioning not just her marriage, but her own instincts. "It's like my life has been a TV show, and I didn't even get a script," she confided to a close friend. Meanwhile, Karlie seemed to thrive in the chaos. She posted enigmatic stories online, champagne glasses clinking, city skylines at night, cryptic captions like, "Some truths can't stay hidden forever." Fans dissected every post, convinced that Karlie was intentionally sending a message to Kendra without even mentioning her name. Social media comments ranged from, "Karlie is ruthless," to, "Kendra, girl, you need to wake up." Jock, caught in the middle, struggled with the weight of the mounting tension. Insiders described him as distraught but defensive, often caught pacing in his home late at night, phone in hand, wrestling with decisions that could destroy his family. One source revealed, "He knows Kendra deserves the truth, but he's terrified of losing everything he's built." And Karlie, she knows that fear and she uses it. The turning point came during a heated phone call between Kendra and Jock. Their voices reportedly shook with anger, heartbreak, and betrayal. "I trusted you," Kendra screamed, tears streaming down her face. "Everything we built, everything we had, was it all a lie?" Jock's voice cracked. "No, Kendra, it wasn't like that. I never wanted to hurt you, you never wanted to hurt me," Kendra shot back, disbelief lacing her words. "Then why are there hotel receipts with her name on them? Why did she show up at your business meetings unannounced?" The confrontation reportedly lasted over an hour, with emotions spiraling, accusations flying, and both parties exhausted but unwilling to back down. Friends later described it as one of the most intense arguments they had ever witnessed, leaving the family shaken and fans glued to social media updates. Meanwhile, Karlie reportedly hosted a private dinner with mutual friends, where she revealed her side of the story. "I never tried to destroy their marriage," she allegedly said. "I only wanted honesty. Jock owed me that. And now, the truth is coming out whether anyone likes it or not." The drama escalated further when alleged screenshots of Karlie and Jock's past communications leaked online. The messages, filled with flirtation, nostalgia, and sometimes jealousy, ignited another wave of outrage. Fans began debating what was appropriate, what was manipulative, and what Kendra deserved to know. Hashtags like #KarlieExposed and #TruthForKendra dominated feeds for days. Family members reportedly split into factions. Some sided with Kendra, offering emotional support and demanding transparency. Others seemed more sympathetic to Jock and Karlie, claiming that past relationships and old wounds are never truly simple to navigate. The family was left divided, tensions simmering at every gathering, and even casual conversations were tinged with suspicion. Then came the bombshell twist that no one saw coming. A former assistant of Karlie claimed that Karlie had recorded several private conversations with Jock, conversations that proved some of Kendra's worst fears. The assistant claimed Karlie wanted proof, just in case things got messy. She wasn't going to sit by and watch someone rewrite history. This revelation sent fans into a frenzy. Some argued that Karlie had overstepped, while others claimed she was the only one brave enough to reveal the truth. Kendra reportedly felt trapped, overwhelmed by layers of secrets that had been carefully hidden for years. Emotions ran high, tears flowed, and even the most loyal supporters were left speechless by the depth of the betrayal. And just when everyone thought the storm had peaked, a new twist emerged. Karlie allegedly hinted at a personal confession that could change everything yet again, something so explosive that insiders claim it could redefine how fans perceive Jock, Kendra, and Karlie forever. The tension reached its boiling point when Karlie allegedly showed up at a high-profile Atlanta gala where Jock and Kendra were both present. According to eyewitnesses, the atmosphere shifted the moment she walked in. Conversations stalled, glasses were held midair, and even the staff seemed to sense that something monumental was about to unfold. Kendra reportedly spotted Karlie across the room and froze. Friends later described the look in her eyes as a mixture of disbelief, fear, and raw anger. Jock, caught off guard, approached Kendra and whispered, "It's going to be okay," but even he seemed unsure whether those words were true. Then, in a moment that would be replayed endlessly on social media, Karlie moved toward them, her heels clicking sharply on the polished floor. "We need to talk," she said, loud enough for several guests to overhear. "The truth doesn't wait for anyone's comfort." Kendra's voice quivered but was firm. "What truth? You've caused enough chaos already." Karlie tilted her head, a knowing smirk playing on her lips. "Have I? Or have I only revealed what's been hiding for years?" The confrontation quickly escalated, drawing the attention of cameras, social media live streams, and the entire guest list. Friends reported that Jock attempted to intervene, placing a hand on Karlie's shoulder, but she shrugged it off with a defiant glare. "Let go. He's responsible for his choices," she said, her voice dripping with controlled venom. Witnesses claim that voices were raised, accusations hurled, and the room filled with an almost cinematic tension. "It was like watching a real-life soap opera," one guest said. People were gasping, taking videos, and trying to figure out what was real and what was performance. Meanwhile, the fallout online was immediate. Fans flooded social media with reactions, split between defending Kendra and defending Karlie, while others speculated wildly about what might happen next. Hashtags like #Karlie vs Kendra and #Jock caught in the middle began trending internationally. Comments ranged from outrage, "Kendra deserves better," to admiration for Karlie's boldness, "She's fearless, finally showing the truth." The next twist came when leaked audio from the gala appeared online. In it, Karlie allegedly confronted Jock directly. "You promised her loyalty, but did you ever truly mean it?" Jock's voice, shaking, responded, I thought I did, but things got complicated." Karlie's reply was sharp and pointed. "Complicated? Or convenient?" Kendra reportedly collapsed into the arms of a close friend, tears streaming down her face, while Jock attempted to explain himself, fumbling through words that sounded hollow even to those trying to mediate. The emotional spectacle left attendees speechless, some rushing to comfort Kendra, others whispering to Karlie in hushed tones. But the drama didn't end there. An anonymous tipster leaked private text messages that surfaced later that night, showing that Karlie had repeatedly reached out to Jock during key moments in his marriage, some of which coincided with anniversaries, holidays, and personal milestones with Kendra. Fans dissected every line, every emoji, and every timestamp, drawing conclusions that only fueled the fire. Family members reportedly became polarized. Some felt Kendra's heartbreak was justified, while others argued that Jock's past with Karlie was nothing more than old wounds reopening. Emotions ran high, long-held grudges resurfaced, and even longtime friends admitted they didn't know where loyalty should lie. Then came the shocking final twist of the night. Karlie allegedly revealed that she had preserved every single piece of evidence, messages, voicemails, and even video recordings, in case the truth ever needed to be confronted publicly. "Some secrets are buried for a reason," she told a small circle of confidants after the gala. "But when the time comes, the world needs to see them." By the time the gala ended, the drama had left a trail of chaos. Kendra distraught and questioning everything, Jock scrambling to salvage his relationships, and Karlie standing tall, seemingly satisfied that her plan to unveil the truth, however explosive, had succeeded. Fans couldn't stop talking, speculating, and demanding the next chapter. And everyone knew this story was far from over. After the gala, the drama didn't just simmer, it erupted into an uncontrollable wildfire. Kendra, still reeling from the public confrontation with Karlie, retreated into the sanctuary of her home, but peace was nowhere to be found. Her phone never stopped buzzing. Fans, friends, and family were calling, texting, and sending DMs, all demanding answers. How did she get away with this? "Kendra, girl, wake up." Every notification was a dagger, and Kendra could feel herself unraveling piece by piece. She couldn't even trust the eyes that stared back at her in the mirror. Every reflection seemed to ask the same haunting question: had she been living a lie for years? Jock, meanwhile, was pacing the halls of his mansion, phone in hand, desperate to contain the fallout. Insiders described him as haunted, frantic, almost hollow-eyed, constantly toggling between calls with Kendra, lawyers, friends, and worst of all, Karlie herself. The lines between truth, lies, and perception had blurred so completely that even he didn't know which version of reality he was living in. "I never wanted this," he muttered repeatedly, but it was a mantra that no longer held any weight. Karlie's presence, her revelations, her relentless pursuit of the truth, real or fabricated, had consumed the life he had carefully constructed. Social media had become a battlefield. Hashtags trended for days. Hashtag Kendra deserves the truth. Hashtag Karlie Vjok. Hashtag Atlanta drama. Hashtag love and betrayal. Each post, each story, each fan reaction was dissected, reanalyzed, and spread faster than wildfire. Fans were divided, some siding with Kendra, some daring to sympathize with Karlie's claims, and a small but vocal minority defending Vjok, insisting he was a victim of circumstance, caught between the woman he married and the woman he couldn't forget. The comments were brutal, sometimes cruel, often heartbreaking. "Kendra, don't let her ruin your life." "Vjok, how could you hide this?" "Karlie, just admit the truth already." The online world had become a digital courtroom, and everyone had an opinion. Karlie, ever the strategist, wasn't idle. Insiders claimed she meticulously planned every move, every revelation, every post to maximize impact. Her social media had taken on a cryptic, almost theatrical tone. Champagne glasses clinking, mirrored selfies, city skylines, messages like, "Some truths will always find their way to light." Fans speculated wildly, interpreting every emoji, every word, every pause as a deliberate signal aimed at Kendra. A few bold fans even suggested that Karlie was trying to win Vjok back emotionally, but her motives were complex, layered, and, above all, unapologetically dramatic. One evening, Kendra decided she couldn't live in ignorance any longer. She confronted Vjok in the privacy of their home, demanding full transparency. "I want every message, every call, every secret you've kept from me. I can't live like this anymore," she said, her voice trembling but resolute. Vjok hesitated, the weight of years of secrecy pressing down on him. He opened his phone, hesitated, then began scrolling. Kendra's eyes followed, absorbing every detail, the late-night messages, the cryptic emojis, the subtle references to past encounters with Karlie. It was worse than she had imagined. Each message was a piece of a puzzle she never knew existed, painting a picture of betrayal that cut deeper than any physical wound ever could. Meanwhile, Karlie wasn't staying silent. In a private dinner with close friends, she reportedly said, "I didn't set out to destroy anyone's marriage. I only wanted the truth. But when lies fester in the dark, they become poison. Someone needed to expose it." Her tone was calm, almost cold, but the undercurrent of triumph was unmistakable. She had orchestrated the chaos, watched it unfold, and reveled in the power it gave her. It wasn't just about Vjok, or Kendra, or even the betrayal, it was about control, influence, and the intoxicating thrill of being the one who held the key to everyone's secrets. Fans, of course, picked up on every move. Live streams, screenshots, and leaked audio clips surfaced, showing Karlie and Vjok exchanging flirtatious, nostalgic, and sometimes heated messages. Every post online seemed to fan the flames further. Debates raged across platforms. Some claimed Karlie had overstepped, others argued she was the only one brave enough to reveal the truth. Kendra's circle of friends was polarized. Some encouraged her to confront the reality she had been blind to, others urged her to let it go, suggesting that digging deeper might only lead to further heartbreak. At one particularly explosive moment, Kendra allegedly discovered voicemails that Karlie had left on Vjok's phone years ago, subtle nudges and reminders that had gone unnoticed. One voicemail reportedly said, "Remember who you really are, and who's always been there for you." Kendra was horrified. It wasn't just the messages themselves, but the realization that these calls had happened while she was building a life she believed was secure. The betrayal was compounded by years of deception, secrecy, and manipulation. Then came the infamous dinner confrontation, an event that fans would discuss for months. Kendra had arranged a dinner with Vjok, intending to demand answers once and for all. Karlie, allegedly tipped off by an insider, appeared uninvited. The tension in the room was palpable. "Why are you here?" Kendra demanded, her voice sharp. Karlie, calm but assertive, replied, "Because someone needs to tell the truth before it's buried forever." Vjok attempted to mediate, but his words fell flat. "This isn't what it looks like," he pleaded, but the room had already erupted. Voices raised, accusations flew, and emotions spiraled into a crescendo. Guests reportedly described it as like a reality TV showdown, but worse, because it felt real, raw, and dangerous. The fallout was immediate. Family members divided, some supporting Kendra, others quietly sympathizing with Karlie's version of events. Friends were forced to pick sides. Social media exploded with clips of the confrontation, screenshots of leaked messages, and heated debates about loyalty, morality, and truth. The story had transcended entertainment. It had become a cultural moment, a lens through which fans scrutinized relationships, trust, and the fragility of love in the public eye. But the drama didn't end there. A week later, an anonymous insider leaked even more evidence, screenshots of private meetings between Karlie and Jock, evidence that they had discussed topics that went far beyond casual friendship. Fans dissected the leaks, trying to determine whether Kendra had unknowingly been kept in the dark for years. The emotional stakes were off the charts. Comments flooded in. How could he? Kendra, girl, this is insane. Karlie, stop playing games. Kendra reportedly fell into a period of emotional isolation, unable to trust anyone fully. Jock, meanwhile, was caught between defending himself and facing the public consequences of his actions. Karlie, the architect of chaos, continued to hint at more revelations yet to come, leaving fans on edge. Every social media post, every interview snippet, every cryptic comment was dissected, interpreted, and spread across platforms, amplifying the tension. Then, another twist. A former friend of Karlie's claimed she had recorded private conversations between her and Jock, audio evidence that could potentially validate all of Kendra's worst suspicions. If she chooses to reveal it, there's no going back, the friend said ominously. The world will finally see what's been happening behind closed doors. The lines between reality and drama blurred further. Fans debated endlessly about the authenticity of the leaks. Tabloids ran headlines like, Kendra blindsided by decade-long deception, and, Karlie's secrets revealed? Celebrities weighed in with opinions, and the internet's fascination only grew. The story had become a perfect storm of betrayal, secrecy, and raw emotion, exactly the kind of narrative reality TV thrives on. Even outside the family circle, emotions ran high. Neighbors, acquaintances, and social circles reported seeing Kendra visibly shaken in public, Jock trying to navigate tense interactions, and Karlie confidently moving through events as if daring anyone to challenge her. The drama had spilled beyond private lives into a spectacle that no one could ignore. In the weeks following the gala and leaked messages, Kendra reportedly became almost unrecognizable to those around her. Close friends described her as haunted, walking through her days like a shadow of herself. Sleepless nights and constant anxiety had taken their toll. She stopped attending social events, canceled appearances, and spent long hours scrolling through messages, posts, and rumors, trying desperately to piece together a reality that seemed to be slipping through her fingers. Each new discovery felt like another betrayal, and every unanswered question was a fresh wound. Jock, on the other hand, seemed trapped in a vortex of his own making. Insiders said he alternated between deep remorse and defensive anger. He's torn, one friend confided. He wants to make things right with Kendra, but at the same time, he can't escape the chaos Karlie has unleashed. Every phone call, every message, it's all a minefield. He's scared, frustrated, and feeling helpless. Jock's public appearances became tense spectacles. Fans noticed his unease in interviews, the slight tremor in his voice, the occasional stammer when questions touched on his personal life. Rumors spread like wildfire, and each new leak sent social media into a frenzy. Karlie, meanwhile, seemed to thrive. She strategically posted photos and stories on social media that fans immediately interpreted as veiled references to Kendra's ignorance and Jock's divided loyalties. In one post, she showed herself laughing at an upscale restaurant with a caption that read, "Sometimes truth tastes bitter to those who never ask for it." Fans dissected every word, theorizing about secret meetings, hidden agendas, and her ultimate motives. Some argued she was manipulative, others claimed she was simply revealing what had long been concealed. Then came the confrontation that would dominate headlines for months. Kendra arranged a private sit-down with Jock in their home, determined to finally get full transparency. "No more secrets," she said, voice trembling but firm. "Everything you've hidden, everything you've lied about. I need to know." Jock hesitated, the weight of years pressing down on him. Finally, he began scrolling through his phone, revealing messages, call logs, and even voicemails that left Kendra reeling. The evidence painted a picture of ongoing communication with Karlie, subtle manipulations, and moments where Jock's loyalty wavered. Fans who followed the story online were in a frenzy. Hashtags like #Kendra deserves the truth, #Karlie v Jock, #Atlanta love betrayal, and #secrets uncovered dominated trending pages. Every post, every tweet, every story was dissected, debated, and spread across platforms. Some defended Karlie, claiming she had a right to expose the truth. Others fiercely supported Kendra, condemning both Jock and Karlie for the emotional chaos. The online world had become a theater of judgment, with millions watching, reacting, and theorizing. Karlie reportedly did not slow down. She continued to leak pieces of information selectively, keeping fans and insiders on edge. One insider revealed, she's playing a long game. Every post, every story, every subtle hint is calculated. She wants to maintain control over the narrative and make sure Kendra knows exactly what's been happening. Her presence loomed over every interaction between Jock and Kendra, creating a tension so thick that even casual observers felt the emotional strain. The tension reached another climax during a charity event where all three were present. Kendra, composed but visibly strained, tried to maintain dignity. Jock, caught between defending himself and managing Karlie's unpredictable behavior, seemed increasingly desperate. Karlie, with a calm but piercing confidence, moved through the event as though daring anyone to challenge her. Whispers spread through the crowd. They're not going to let this go quietly, something is about to explode. And indeed, during the event, a heated exchange erupted. Why are you here? Kendra demanded, her voice sharp enough to cut through the chatter. Karlie's response was cold and deliberate, because the truth never waits for permission. Jock attempted to intervene, but Karlie brushed him aside. The confrontation escalated, voices rising, accusations flying, and emotions spilling over. Some guests reportedly cried, others left in discomfort, and social media clips of the scene immediately went viral. The fallout was immediate. Family members split further into factions, some defending Kendra, some showing sympathy for Karlie's claims, and others remaining neutral but visibly tense. Friends and acquaintances found themselves forced to pick sides, and the drama spilled over into the media, where reporters speculated on possible reconciliations, ultimatums, and emotional consequences. As the weeks progressed, more shocking revelations surfaced. Insiders claimed Karlie had preserved audio recordings of Jock admitting moments of weakness, nostalgia for past interactions, and lingering feelings that he had never fully disclosed to Kendra. These recordings, if revealed, would not only validate Kendra's suspicions but also potentially destroy Jock's credibility in the public eye. Fans erupted once again online. Every post, every comment, every rumor was scrutinized. Some argued that Karlie had gone too far, others claimed she was a necessary force of truth, and a heated debate raged over social media about morality, loyalty, and the ethics of exposing personal secrets. The story became more than just a love triangle, it was a cultural phenomenon, a cautionary tale about secrets, betrayal, and the fragility of trust. Kendra reportedly began documenting everything herself, determined not to be blindsided again. She took screenshots, saved messages, and kept detailed notes, creating a personal archive of proof, evidence, and reflections. I won't be fooled again, she confided to a trusted friend. I need to know the full story, from every angle, so I can finally make sense of this chaos. Jock's attempts at reconciliation reportedly became increasingly desperate. Insiders described him as pleading, apologetic, and emotionally raw, trying to convince Kendra that his intentions were never malicious, that he had been caught in circumstances he couldn't fully control. But the shadow of Karlie's influence loomed large, complicating every interaction, and leaving Kendra in a constant state of emotional conflict. The story continued to dominate headlines. Every public appearance, every social media update, every subtle hint from any of the three sparked speculation. Fans couldn't get enough, analyzing body language, facial expressions, and tone, looking for clues about the next revelation. It was a narrative filled with suspense, heartbreak, and relentless drama, a perfect storm that kept everyone glued to the unfolding saga. And just when it seemed the tension couldn't rise any higher, Karlie allegedly hinted at one final revelation that could redefine the entire story, a secret so explosive that insiders claimed it might forever alter public perception of Jock, Kendra, and Karlie herself. Fans speculated endlessly, theories multiplying by the hour. The emotional stakes were at their peak, and the drama showed no signs of slowing down.